Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 NFC Championship postgame show. And I'll give you an update on the AFC Championship game as well. Well, half of the Super Bowl is set, the NFC half. My one prediction I went with, one pick was wrong because the LA Rams beat the New Orleans Saints in overtime at Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, 26-23. And the LA Rams are the NFC champions and are going to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2001. Rams head coach Sean McVay is the youngest head coach ever to reach the Super Bowl. In the first quarter, the Saints kicked a field goal from 37 yards out. Will Lutz's kick is up, and it was good, and it was 3-0 Saints. The Rams had the ball at their own 10-yard line, made 3 plays, and it was first and 10 at the LA 10. Jared Goff's pass short right to Robert Woods pushed out of bounds for 7 yards, and at the LA 17. It was second and third at the LA 17. Todd Gurley left tackle to the Rams 13 for 4 yards, and it was third and 7 at the Rams 13. Jared Goff's pass short middle intended for Todd Gurley was intercepted by Saints linebacker Demario Davis at the Rams 17, ran the ball to the Rams 16 for 1 yard. The Rams went 3 and out and had to punt. The Saints kicked another field goal, and this time it was some 29 yards out. Will Lutz's kick was up, and it was good, and it was 6-0 Saints. The Rams had the ball at their own 25, made 3 plays for 2 yards, and went 3 and out and had to punt. They had a pass, Jared Goff pass fell incomplete. That's why they had to punt. The Rams scored the Saints scored their first touchdown of the game. Drew Brees passed short right to Garrett Griffin, who ran the ball 5 yards into the end zone for the score, and the extra point was good, and it was 13-0 Saints. The Rams kicked a field goal from 36 yards out. Greg Zuerlein's kick was up, and it was good, and it was 13-3 Saints at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Saints had the ball at their own 25, made 3 plays for 5 yards, and went 3 and out and had to punt. Jared Goff had another pass that fell incomplete. Drew Brees had a pass that fell incomplete. Excuse me, it was the Saints. The Rams had the ball at their own 22, made 6 plays for 18 yards, and went 3 and out and had to punt. Jared Goff had another pass that fell incomplete. The Saints had the ball at their own 17, made 6 plays for 9 yards, and went 3 and out and had to punt. Drew Brees got sacked at the New Orleans 24 from -6 yards, and the Rams scored their second touchdown, their first touchdown of the game, Todd Gurley, left guard, ran the ball 6 yards into the end zone for the score, and the extra point was good, and it was 13-10 Saints. The Saints had the ball at their own 20. Alvin Kamara ran the ball to the Saints 20 for 27 yards. Drew Brees kneeled for -1 yard. The Saints were up 13-10 at halftime. In the third, the Saints scored their third touchdown of the game. Drew Brees passed short right to Taysom Hill, ran the ball 2 yards into the end zone, and the extra point was good, and it was 20-10 Saints. It was the Saints that scored that. It was 20-10 Saints. The Rams scored their second touchdown of the game. Jared Goff's pass short right to Tyler Higbee, ran the ball 2 yards into the end zone for the score. The extra point was up, and it was good. And it was 20-17 Saints at the end of the third quarter. To the fourth we go. The Rams kicked a field goal from 24 yards out. Greg Zuerlein's kick was up, and it was good. And it was Rams and Saints were tied at 20. The Saints kicked a field goal, this time from 31 yards out. Will Lutz with the kick was up, and it was good. It was 23-20 Saints. But the Rams kicked yet another field goal, this time from 48 yards out. Greg Zuerlein's kick was up, and it was good. And Rams and Saints were tied at 23, and we're going to overtime. And in OT, the Saints had the ball at their own 26-yard line. Drew Brees' pass deep left, intercepted by John Johnson at the LA Rams 46, and Johnson got no gain. Now, and the Rams got in field goal range, and Greg Zuerlein kicked a field goal from 57 yards out. Zuerlein's kick was up, and the kick was good, and the LA Rams, when they beat the New Orleans Saints at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans in overtime, 26-23. The Rams are the NFC champions, and they got the Charles S. Hundley, the Charles S. Hundley NFC Championship trophy was presented to them in the locker room, and the Rams are going back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2001, and for the first time in 19 years. It had been 19 years. That's how long it had been. And game balls for the NFC Championship game. Well, I have to give credit to where credit is due. Jared Goff, 25 of 40 carries and attempts, 297 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he had gotten injured, so John Hecker came in, 1 for 1 carries and attempts, 12 yards, no touchdown, no interceptions. Brandon Cooks, 7 receiving passes, 107 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Those are the 3 game balls. And for the Saints, Drew Brees, 26 of 40, no yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. And Alvin Kamara, 8 carries, 3 receiving passes, 3 recoveries, 15 passes, and passing yards, 96 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Well, I got to give credit. This was a great game between the Saints and Rams. So I lost on that one and on that pick. And the celebration is still going on in New Orleans. The Rams fans are celebrating all over and in LA. And they are just jumping for joy. And they are excited to be going back to the Super Bowl. And, oh, what a game. And for the New Orleans Saints, their off-season begins, but they had a no call, I believe it was in the fourth quarter. There was a no call from the referee, and I believe it was a bad call, and they just, Sean Payton and just felt it was a bad call, and a lot of the fans did too. But their playoff winning streak comes to an end. They are now 7-1 in the playoffs, and the Saints off season begins. They are now home for the season, and that ends the Saints season. And in the AFC Championship game, the New England Patriots are up on the Kansas City Chiefs, 17-14 in the fourth quarter with 8:35 to go. And I feel I have picked the Chiefs to win this one, and I feel that they have the edge in this game. And we will find out who will win it. And I will have the post-game show once the AFC Championship game has concluded between the Patriots and the Chiefs. Well, I have to congratulations to the LA Rams on becoming the NFC champions and are going to the Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And we'll find out who their opponent will be at the end of this game on the post-game show. The Scott Sports 101 NFC AFC Championship post-game show. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 NFL NFC Championship post-game show and AFC Championship fourth quarter update between the Pats and Chiefs. And I'll be back once that game is concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.